This Open basically ripped you for being anti-esports. It's funny because you're young, but you're a get off my lawn guy.
I hate esports. I think it's the end of civilization as we know it. It just is.
Literally?
I have this argument with Jerry Ferrara, great actor, Entourage, Power, big esports guy. I think he's they call it the general manager of the Knicks esports team. I don't know what you general manage as an esports executive,
Here
but
comes.
it's what he does. And he and I have argued back and forth, done a podcast on this. I think esports is just who's better at pressing the X button over and over again. He thinks there's far more skill to it. My biggest problem with esports, not to get too far down the rabbit hole here, my biggest problem is that there are successful esports players, and that's great. They make a lot of money, but the ones that don't just wind up kind of fat and eating Cheetos a lot. Like, that's my problem. Like, if you're playing real sports, basketball, football, even if you are low level, you are exercising. You are out there doing things that are positive for you. Esports isn't that. Like, I played video games as a kid. I wish there was a Sonic the Hedgehog esports league that I could play in because I dominated with that. But I don't think it made me a healthier person. Good for the people that succeed at esports. Great. But I think we have to wonder about all the thousands of others, tens of thousands of others that don't, and what the benefit is of doing that. If you're a parent, you guys are all parents. Would you want your kids playing esports? Would you want them engaging in that? I'm asking a serious question. I'm curious, Paulie.
Well, I guess if your son or daughter got into graphic design or computer programming, is there any difference? Because I know
there's a big difference.
But again, you're using your technical hand-eye coordination skills, creativity, whatever, with graphic design, and you're not getting a lot of exercise being a graphic designer. So I don't know. I would rather them be outside riding their bike than playing video games all day.
I think that's a big dot you're connecting there. I
Maybe.
think graphic design to NBA Live.
Well, I guess sitting in front of a computer screen for a living.
Yeah, but graphic design, I'm sure there are esports players that are excellent at other computer-related things. I just don't know that there's a correlation there.
I have a buddy. This is tough. I have a buddy whose son dropped out of college to get more into esports, and his dad was paying for it. His dad is beside himself. And his son goes, "Yeah, I don't want to go to college because it's a waste of time because that's not what I want to do. I'm dropping out of college, Dad. His last 2 years of college, and he's going to focus on being a professional esports professional gamer, all his time." Because he even said, "Dad," he goes, "if I do this half my time, because I won't ever do it. Because if I do it with all my time, because I can make money at it, be successful." His dad is ready to jump in a lake.
Yes, Eden.
So I think there's a difference there in some respects because what you're talking about there, like, is an adult making his own life decision, right? So, okay, yeah, Charlie, if you want to, forget about college and I'm not going to pay for this anymore, but now you're on your own because you're an adult and you need to figure out a career and stuff. Okay, go do that. That's fine. That's your choice. But like my 9-year-old son isn't allowed to play video games. He can when he goes to his friend's house, but we don't have anything in the house because we don't want him to waste all of his time doing that. You know, and plus it's like removing the argument of we don't want him to argue with us about wanting to play video games all the time. So our way of avoiding all of that is just not having video games ever in the house. You know what I mean? It's like if you don't want your kid to watch TV all the time, then don't let him put the TV on. And then now there's no argument anymore. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I also don't necessarily... I bring up Jerry Ferrara again because he is so passionate about this. He's like, you need chemistry to be good at esports. I'm like, chemistry doing what?
E-chemistry.
E-chemistry. Like, I don't understand that part of it.
Okay, well, what if you had a son who is about 14 years old, all right? And, Fritzy's got a son who's been playing esports for a while, but never got into it. What if he came home one day and said, "Dad, I'm sponsored. I'm making $25,000.
Okay.
Because then he's a success and he's bringing in money. Would you change your tune on esports if your son was profitable?
If he found a way to turn it into a business and to make money off it, absolutely.
So it would totally, but you remember you had to get there first. You have to play hours and hours and hours, and I would guess.
I wouldn't encourage the getting there part. I would say
right. So see, like that's what is missing out of this is the $25,000 check looks good. It's the years of arguing leading up to that. Like, would you get off the damn video games, kid?
Yeah,
stop playing all the time.
I need my kid to be a savant who just picks up the controller and is like, "Wow, I'm great." And the New York whatevers decide to sign me to a multi-year sit on my couch contract.
The New York basement dwellers. I'm beating you to the punch. Is that what you call them?
Me there. Yeah, Fritzy.
Yeah, but even my son got some kind of sponsorship, unless it was like some ridiculous amount of money or a long-term deal, I wouldn't want him to like drop out of college in the middle or decide that that's going to be his lifelong dream to keep pursuing that. And, I just would want that to maybe be kind of a side venture, kind of a side hobby. Just like he plays video games all the time with his friends, but if it gets in the way of his schoolwork and studying and everything else, then that becomes a significant problem.
This is going to get me in trouble again. The esports community is like Lord of the Flies. Like they are just going to be all over me about this. They did it the last time. I think Jerry encouraged them. He sicked them on me. And now here we go again. It's good for the top level people. I just don't see it as being something I would encourage a 10 or 11-year-old to get into because I don't see the upside if you don't become one of those $10 million guys. I do see the upside in playing basketball or baseball or football even because you're getting in shape. You're out there. You're working with teammates. You're doing something. You're not doing that with esports. You're playing video games. This is going to get tweets. I'm going to...
You're in so much trouble.
I hate this.
Because you're giving parenting advice to people, too.
And I have no kids. So here I am.
You're the most childlike guy I know.
Doling out parenting advice. Well, I sit here in my NBA Jam t-shirt, by the way.
What did you have for breakfast this morning? Like Reese's Pieces pancakes or something, probably.
Hey, don't knock the Reese's Pieces pancakes.
That's your one seed.
That's a Vermont staple, my friend.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.